Hi guys and welcome back. So today we're going to be making birria tacos with consomme in our InstantPot. For your ingredients, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of high smoked point oil such as avocado or vegetable, 4 pounds boneless chuck roast, 2 pounds short ribs English cut, 6 cups of water or chicken broth, 5 cups beef broth, 1 large white onion peeled and quartered, 1 head of garlic peeled, 4 dried guajillo chili peppers de-seeded and stems removed, 4 dried ancho chilies, 1 tablespoon of whole peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of whole cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of whole coriander seeds, 1 cinnamon stick, 1 tablespoon Mexican oregano, fresh or dried, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 can of chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, 1 can of pureed tomatoes, 3 bay leaves, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and for the Birria Quesatacos, you're going to use tortillas of choice, cheese of choice, cilantro, chopped onion, and lime for garnish. So first, we're going to take our InstantPot and set it to saute on the high function and add some oil and let it heat up. While that's heating up, I took my pieces of meat that I allowed to come to room temperature for about 30 minutes. Here I used chuck roast and short rib, and I just sprinkled it with kosher salt on both sides. As you can see, once the oil in my pan was shimmering hot, I added my chuck roast and I seared it on both sides. And then I just did the same thing with my pieces of short rib. I just seared them on both sides as well. Once I had browned all my pieces of meat on both sides, I just set them on a plate for later. Next, you're going to take your dry chiles and you're going to de-stem and de-seed them. Just pour them out into an empty bowl or container. In a medium fry pan or skillet, you're then going to dry toast the whole spices and chiles, the cumin seeds, the coriander seeds, black peppercorns, and the cinnamon stick over medium heat. You're just going to place all the spices in an even layer across the pan and then give the pan a nice gentle shake to ensure the spices get evenly toasted. They're done once they smell super fragrant. It should take about a minute or 2. Coming back to our InstantPot, you're going to once again set it on saute to the highest power, and when it's hot, you're going to add a large white onion that you've quartered, garlic cloves, oregano, and then your toasted spices and dried chiles. And then you're going to pour enough chicken broth to cover it, or you can use water if you don't have chicken broth. I added chicken broth just because it gives it more flavor in my opinion, but water works fine too. After giving everything a good stir, you're going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Now, side note, you can do this on the stovetop. Just pour your ingredients in a large pot and let it simmer over medium heat. I prefer to do it in the InstantPot just so I can scrape up the bits that were left over from when I browned the meat because it gives it more flavor. After it's done simmering for about 15 minutes, you're then going to pour it through a mesh strainer and take out the cinnamon stick and save 1 cup of liquid and pour it into a high-powered blender. I'm using my Ninja Foodie blender here. You're then going to add in your chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, smoked paprika, and the pureed tomatoes, and the reserved cup of liquids, and then you're going to blend everything together. Returning back to the InstantPot, you're just going to add your meat back in. After that, pour in your blended sauce. Next, you're going to add in your beef broth. Then add in your bay leaves and apple cider vinegar. After locking your lid, you're then going to hit pressure cook high, set it the time for 60 minutes, and you're just going to let your meat cook. When the time is up, you're going to naturally let it release for 10 minutes and then use the quick release to release the rest of the pressure before turning the lid. You're then going to remove your meat from the consomme, discarding the bay leaves and bones. You're then going to shred your meat using a fork, or you can use tongs and a knife. Using a large spoon, you're going to skim some of the fat off the top of the consomme and put into a shallow dish. And then using tongs or clean fingers, you're just going to dip your tortilla and cover it on both sides before laying it on a hot griddle to cook on each side. So for this recipe, I used both corn tortillas and flour tortillas, corn for myself and flour for Gabe and the boys. You're then gonna add your cheese of choice. I use a mix of Oaxaca and Monterey Jack cheese. You're then gonna add your birria meat and then fold your tortilla over and cook it for about 30 seconds on each side, just to make sure your cheese gets nice and melted and each side of the tortilla gets nice and toasty. Once you're all done, just put some consomme into a bowl, add your cilantro and onion, and you're good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like it, give us a like and let us know in the comment section. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye.